Okay, hi. I'm Cami, and I've had this channel for 19 years now, and I'm thinking now this is the time where I should actually make use of it. Um, Thing is, I have like, for the most part, I'm an artist. Also, this is Kirby. He doesn't like seeing himself on camera, so normally he goes around the tank a lot, but since he's seeing himself on camera because I have this on selfie mode, he is like this, but he's fine. Um, but for the most part, I'm an artist, but I'm also one with a lot of interests, and there's a lot of topics that I do want to cover on YouTube. Um, it's I don't know how to edit videos, so this is going to be uploaded from my Pixel 4a. Yes, I have that, probably completely unedited. Um, but anyway, I've grown very interested in web comics. I mean, I've been making a comic for since 2010. I did a Mario Universe fan comic called Immortal Fool. That's still running, and then I have an original story called Highly Experimental. That is currently on hiatus as I just finished the second book, and I need to get the bonus material out so that I can actually print the second book. I will have links to both of those comics in the description as well as my main website. Um, I know a lot of my existing followers on here. I know I don't even know how I managed to get 50 because I barely put anything in this channel in the last 19 years. Um, but for the people who have followed me on other social media, wow, did I just jump topics? I guess I did. So, I mean, I've been an artist for probably since 1999, and I've been doing fan art, I've been working on original projects, but mostly fan art because it's just fun and it's a great way to communicate with other people. And I mainly posted art to communicate with friends, make friends, and so, but my art style, I know it's very different. Like, it's not exactly cartoonish. Western cartoon is not exactly anime. It's just this weird thing that attracts a very small audience, and you know, I make friends with that. I'm fine. It took me maybe 15 years to get 2,000 followers on Twitter, but it's fine. And now everybody's just exiting to Blue Sky, so that dropped and whatever. But anyway, so I am an artist. I am a traditional artist. I do watercolors. I am a digital artist. I am always experimenting with the latest in tech that I have access to, and then I make comics, as I said. So I want to touch on all of these topics, and so I really can't narrow down what specific subject to make this YouTube video on. I mean, to make this channel on. Um, I do also, of course, since I'm a fan artist, I'm a big fanatic of video games. Maybe once in a while I would want to talk about games, storylines, different characters, because I have characters there's characters that, especially Mario games, that I could just talk about for hours if anyone is willing to listen. Anyway, but I think the biggest things I want to touch base on is digital art, um, except webcomics, accessibility in both just comics and general art. I have been mobility impaired for on and off for a few years, so I've had to really change up my workflow several times to accommodate my inability to sit at a desk, my inability to like just death grip a pencil and work on things. This pencil right here, I was actually just showing this to my friend who is suffering from arthritis. This is a mechanical pencil called the Pilot Opt OPT, and this actually it has a grip and it lets out lead just by shaking the pencil. So, and then you only just have to press it when you're putting the lead back in. But otherwise, it takes out half the work of getting lead out of a pencil, and it's just a lot easier to hold. So stuff like that. And I want to talk about that. I want to share these experiences. And so I guess what maybe I will do all the topics I want to. Like, just not make this a specific channel, because if I've had this channel for 19 years and didn't do anything to make a single dollar out of it, and I'm still working a 9 to 5, you know, it doesn't really matter if this channel has a consistent topic or not. I could pretty much do what I want. And the reason why I want to talk about these things is, well, there's a lot of, like, I do follow a lot of great YouTubers, especially in the digital art. So, but like, as I'm going about these things as my own, there's just a lot of extra, especially with the whole thing. Be how, like, probably the biggest thing I want to talk about, and I will do this in another video in more detail, is the fact that artists are basically split between beginners and professionals. And I feel like that's very bad categorization, because not everyone who's broke is a beginner, and not everybody who draws is a professional, but also not a beginner. So me being a casual artist, somebody who draws for fun, I'm not in a artist, I'm not in any kind of professional artist job. Everything that I do it entirely for fun. Sometimes I take commissions when I need to make a little extra money. But I do not see this as me being a professional artist. I'm not, in a swank Los Angeles apartment with a $4,000 antique. So yeah. So when I talk about digital art, I'm going to be talking a lot about stuff that's accessible to, stuff for, the, not so much the beginner, but somebody who is into like one type of art and wants to try out another type of art. Somebody who, people who are considering mobile tablets like iPads and Samsung Galaxies, or the XP Pen Magic Drawing Pad, as a mobile drawing device, rather than having a whole computer setup. People who are thinking, hey, maybe I do need a computer setup after all, or people who, just kind of want to get their eyes off the screen and try a little bit of traditional art, because I think, especially when I have a lot of eye fatigue, I do a call center job. My 9 to 5 is a call center job. And there was a time where we were so short staffed that we were working mandatory overtime for 18 months. And when I was in that, yeah, I did earn a lot of money. But I kind of blew it all on traditional art supplies, because I needed to get myself off the computer when I'm not working and just relax my eyes and work on some nice cozy watercolors. And I will have videos on that too, just like getting into traditional art as somebody who was dominantly a digital artist, just to be able to be productive without constantly gluing your eyes to a screen 24/7. It is a joy. And so yeah, so hopefully I will pick up some kind of free video editor or anything like that, as long as this is a small channel that will not be monetized. I don't see myself planning on upgrading any equipment or anytime soon, or maybe if my videos are decent enough to get monetized, maybe I will hire an editor. A friend of mine on Blue Sky, suggested being an editor, and I'm like, well, that sounds cool, but I can't pay you yet. I can't pay anybody, and I don't want to do it. I don't want people doing stuff for free for this channel. But yeah, and then I do have friends that come visit me. They have very very fun, very interesting artist perspectives, gamer perspectives, streamer perspectives. Like, I have my friend Kurt Dog, I will link to his channel, and he helped me a lot with setting up my streams and stuff, and just general quality of life updates with tech. And I definitely would like to collaborate with him on a video, just because I think he has a lot, especially as somebody who works on Double Nintendo, a really hot panel for video game conventions. Um, he has a lot of genius and know-how into like streaming and recording setups, and even setting up a show like that. And I think it would be good on this entire good for the entire video streaming community to for him to share his knowledge on that and to share his like workarounds when we do have those tech issues in the beginning of the shows. But yeah, so look forward to that. If I'm able to keep this up, probably I mean, you could if you have suggestions, like if you have questions, I can make those into topics for videos as well. Um, and you know, and so either just the entry and the expectations of webcomics, like just my opinions and my own take on the do's and don'ts in webcomics. Um, that I want to do one of these days, hopefully this month, hopefully soon. Um, and I let's see, and then also just little things with digital art, like what kind of tablets and stuff is best for your particular needs. And I have experience as both an iPad user and an Android user, so I have stuff to say about each one. But yeah, the webcomic thing will definitely come first. See how I can't seem to keep my topics consistent, and I'm just jumping from one to the other and then back to the first one? That's a thing. So I don't think this channel is going to do very well. Anyway, the reason why I want to do the webcomics one so bad is that because there is ever since the webcomics boom of like the early 2010s, that was when I started mine. So that's when it felt like it was a boom. There was been a lot of condescending stuff about what you should do as a webcomic, what you're supposed to do as a webcomic author. And these are things that range between don't draw until you have a whole story together, or if you can't update once a week, it's not worth keeping a comment, or disable comments because user feedback is usually what turns a webcomic very bad. And then there was this really condescending video I saw on YouTube. It was like, save as, you should be exporting. And then I had this really big conversation on Blue Sky where I saw that video, and they're like, no, we're old school. We save as. And then I think I did the export thing once, but then because I'm so used to using save as, I didn't save the canvas as a new file. And so I was like, oh wait, there's a typo. And so I fixed the typo, I flattened the image, I exported again, and then Clip Studio just auto-saved the flattened version. And then, so I lost the project file because I used export. So, it's stuff like that I want to talk about, because webcomics are for everybody. They can be done by anybody. They can be done regardless of it if you have a 9 to 5, if you feel like you don't have a good enough drawing ability, if you feel like you don't feel confident in your writing, if you don't even know how your writing is going to go, if you're somebody that just has to visualize everything and not script, that video is going to be for you. And I do want more people to get into comics and to know where to, like, if you're gonna put money into your comic, if you're gonna put money into your production, where that money should go, because you don't want to put it in the wrong place and then it turns out to be a waste. But yeah, stuff like that will be in a future video. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna feed Kirby and then I will end this video. So again, well, I would say like and subscribe, but this channel doesn't have anything right now, so I feel bad doing that. But yeah, just like it if you like it if you want to see more. If you want to see me ramble about things, I'll try to also record some time lapses of my progress, especially since I'm still working on Immortal at this time. And oh, nice eating, yes. And yeah, just viewer suggestions welcome, questions welcome, and follow me on Blue Sky. It is camiluna.bsky.social, I think it is. Well, I mean, if you're on Blue Sky, you know how those work. You know how those URLs work. It is camiluna@bsky.social. And then yeah, so also on Tumblr, camiluna.tumblr.com. See you in the next video. Bye bye.